Hey, good morning. Mark Yegi here. And just a quick update on Apple. If you stick with me through this, I'm going to kind of give you the whole skinny on what's going on. Apple is reporting earnings tonight. And if it's anything like the other big Mag 7 companies, the Amazons and the Googles, they're probably going to be good. But I don't know. I don't try to predict this. This is the time where I mentioned in my video yesterday that you protect yourself. This is the chance to protect your account going into earnings. And the way we do it at the Cashflow Machine, my students, what we do is we sell deep in the money calls. And that way you protect your account amount because you have the intrinsic value that accrues in your favor if the stock goes down. So that's one of the ways that we do it. The puts are expensive right now. They're expensive insurance. So that's probably not the optimal way to do it. But selling a deep in the money call is certainly something to consider. And listen, you have 4 days a year where a company will report earnings. And today is that day for Apple. Yesterday was that day for Google and Amazon and whoever else. And so those are the days that you can't predict whether the stock is going to go up or down. In fact, you can't predict it ever, right? What you can do is try to get probabilities on your side, but no, you're not going to be right all the time. Just know that. So looking at Apple today, it's down $1 this morning, going into earnings. And I'll show you the chart on it in just a second, but I want to read what the scout at Yahoo Finance says. Apple is preparing for its fiscal Q2 earnings report later amid strong tech sector performance and significant leadership transition. There's a new CEO coming in now. So the company's committed $96 billion to share buybacks, enhancing shareholder value while maintaining robust profitability metrics. Now, share buybacks are in general good for the customer. I'm not sure, or the shareholder, I should say. I'm not sure they're good for the customer. But that's what they're doing, and we're in the shareholder relations business here, trying to make money on the shares. So, that makes sense for us if we're in Apple, or if we want to be in Apple. We like that kind of a backstop. Analysts are generally optimistic with price targets ranging from 290 to 350. Quite a range, right? Like the stock is at 270. A lot of people think it's going to 290, and some people think it's 350. Anybody can throw a price target out there. Obviously, they're all wrong, right? It's not at 290 yet. When is it going to be? Well, they give themselves, 2 years for it to get there, that kind of thing. So, you're just as good at providing a price target as they are, and I'm going to show you on the chart in a second how you can try to figure some of these things out without relying on these people that are getting paid from their from certain constituents to put research out, from their trading floors maybe to put research out, right? There's just all kinds of shenanigans that are being played on Wall Street. So you should have the power in your investing. Look at Apple now jumping up from $1 down. Now it's down 23 cents. So there's something going on. And obviously, going into numbers, you're going to get all kinds of volatility. Now, let me show you the chart of the stock itself. Let's start here on a weekly. And you can see, I'll just show you some quick numbers, not that we're going to be investing on fundamentals, because the stock price is different from what the company's fundamentals are. Like over time, it might solidify and kind of coincide. But right now, the stock could do anything. And so if you trade stocks, like yesterday I talked about SoFi, 41% earnings beat or increase in earnings, but the stock was down, 10% or something like that. So, there's a disconnect between the stock price and the fundamental price in the short term. Long term, there is certainly a correlation on some stocks. I can't say all of them. All right. Apple, looking over here, in 2023, they made $6. They made $6.75 in 2024. Bumped it up to $7.46 in 2025, and now they're going to go to $8.51 according to the analysts this year, and then $9.36. Not a huge amount of growth. It's about a 13% annualized growth rate over a 3-year period of time. And the sales growth rate is only 3%. Now, this is common for a mature company like Apple. Like all we do is we wait for the next product cycle. The Apple 18 phone is coming out soon. The 17 was pretty good. So the 18 comes out, maybe some new iPods or a new iPad or something. And that's what we wait for Apple. It's a mature company, so you're not going to get a gigantic amount of growth. Nonetheless, if you've watched any of my market pulses, which I put out on Friday, I talk about how Apple kind of stumbled into AI. So if you use an Apple iPhone, you've used Siri, and it's not very good. And so they were kind of first in the AI consumer business, right? They put out those those phones with Siri, and you go, hey, Siri, and now it says, here's what I found on the web. It's kind of not very good. ChatGPT is way better. So they've tried to make deals with ChatGPT and Google and some of these other companies, but they haven't invested in their own infrastructure at Apple into AI, which is unique, right? But here's what Apple is looking at as their moat, I think. They've got a distribution channel, right? There's a lot of people that use the Apple iPhone. They're married to it. It works with their iPad. It works with their Macs. It works with all the other stuff you put in your ears and, whatever other devices they have, the Vision thing. And so they've built this kind of a hardware moat, which is interesting because it's an expensive phone, but people like it and they're brand loyal. And they're using other people's AI in their phones because they have a distribution network. Now, another moat is the App Store. And I don't know how much longer the App Store is going to last. Maybe it lasts a long time, but pretty soon, and there's some AI gurus and CEOs that are talking about it. Pretty soon, you're going to be able to just ask your phone to do what you want. You don't need an app. It's not here yet, obviously. So, there's a lot of concerns regarding Apple, but I think they stumbled into the hardware end of AI because of what's called OpenClaw. And if you study AI, which I'm heavily into AI right now, you see that, they got lucky because this OpenClaw thing came out and it runs really well on their Mac Minis. So their Mac Minis are kind of selling out. And so, that might really help their earnings tonight. Anyway, so you see the stock in a long consolidation. This is a very long 21-week consolidation, between 290 and, I'll show you on the daily what it looks like, and it looks maybe a little bit better here. So now you can see how much more noisy it is, right? It's had a nice little up run, it's had a correction and a consolidation. So it's stuck here. The buyers and the sellers don't know what to make of this stock, which is why you don't ever take big risks going into earnings. We're not smart and Nostradamus. We don't know, right? We could get lucky. It could go down and you could get very unlucky. So just be careful, please. Now you can see the stock is above the 50-day moving average. All the major averages that I look at are moving up. This is in a good spot to be an owner of Apple, in my opinion. I own a little bit. But please be careful coming into numbers. The top price that you're looking at is right in here. I think it's right around 289, something like that. That's where Apple, I think, wants to get, but it's got to go through these swing points here first. The first one is 276, and it kind of rejected that right in here. And the next one is 280. So if it doesn't get through those swing points with some strength, this stock is going to continue to stay in this consolidation maybe, or it could start to go down maybe after this earnings period. But it needs some strength to be able to go up. My point is, with a relative strength rating of 68, which means that, it's performing better than 68% of the companies, but certainly not in the top 32% of the companies, that's not that good. Nonetheless, I look at this chart and I don't see anything really wrong with it, but you know what? Earnings could totally change what I'm saying. So all I'm saying here is you've got an idea of where the stock I think is going. I think it's going into 289, and that's the breakout point after a very long consolidation. And you know what I always say, the longer the consolidation, the higher the spring up. If it does indeed go up. And right now it's showing signs, stocks above the 50 have a propensity to go a little bit higher when they're trending higher. And we have this little small trend working now. We'll see what earnings does tonight. Please be careful, protect your account. Maybe sell some deep in the money covered calls, and I'll see you on the next video. By the way, why don't you tell me what you think, if you kind of catch this before earnings, what you think are going to happen in earnings in the comments below, and we'll have a little conversation about it, something like that. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't try to predict. All I know is I try to protect. But if it's based on what's going on in the market, I know we have wars and we have all that other stuff, but this stock seems to want to go higher, and so do the other Mag 7 companies. So if it's anything like the other Mag 7 companies, maybe we get a good earnings report tonight. Hopefully, but don't bet on it, right? All right, take care. I'll see you on the next video. The information you just heard is for education and information. This is not financial advice.